fuck is...
Hey, how you doing? How's things? Are you well? I hope you're doing well. Don't worry. I can speak. You hearing an echo? I'm getting 2 inputs here. Maybe that's bad. Let me know how that sound is. You know how it is. It's a pumpkin stream, so there's going to be technical difficulties. It's just the way it is, unfortunately for ye. It doesn't bother me too much. And let's test, make sure this is working. Yes, it is. From Mr. Jeremiah. He says, I saw Paul did a video on us, and he's referring to the title of this video, in which we're talking about pre-order, a supposed pre-order leak. And indeed, I did see the exact same video that you're talking about from Polish Paul. So let me give the credit where credit is due. I should have linked it, and I will link it. I forgot to do that when I was setting up the stream. But yeah, y'all know Polish Paul. And his video talked about this supposed leak, where they don't have a date or anything like this, and the website's super sketchy. But they put a price up, and you know, the price is kind of what you could guess as well. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Let me just get through some of these comments first. Zach, the Lego Maniac, as Decepticon would say, the boss is back. Thank you, Zach, for showing up. Daniel, aka Zero, smash the thumb or get banned. Maybe worse. Thank you very much. Mr. Jackpot is getting pretty wet. Pretty hot and pretty wet. Or maybe he's just sweating because he is a Quest fanboy and he knows his days are numbered. And that's probably what that is. That's not excitement, sweat. That's panic. Fear. You know? Which is what we want to see from them reptilians. Sup, you bumps, says Daniel. Nice pillow hair. How bad is the hair? Every day. Oh, yeah, it is. I got the altar boy hair. You know, when the priest is saying, good boy. Good boy. You know? Can't shake those nightmares. Where was I? Thanks for pointing out my shit hair once again. I desperately need a haircut. And I'll get one this week. Chairface saying spiders. Chairface, are you Irish? I can't remember. Steedy? Steady? How do I say that? How you doing, Steady? He says, hey, what's up? And Mr. Decepticon himself has rolled out of his trash can. Like that Muppet from Sesame Street. He lives in the trash can. He's come out. And he's got some Wi-Fi. Chairface, I apologize for forgetting that. What are you doing up so late? I suppose it's not that late. Never mind. Uh-oh. Long time no see. Did you change your name? If you change your name, then don't expect me to remember you. You know, I can't be remembering new names. David Higgins. I'm pretty sure this fella's Irish. Did you see the price of PSVR2? We'll talk about that in a sec. I saw a supposed price of PSVR2. I think that'll be the first topic because that's just what's going to happen. It's the most interesting one in terms of actual potential news, even though, you know. And that tradition with the oist, is that like a milady thing? Because if that is a milady type thing, I enjoy that very much. From tradition, how you doing? Black Tiger 330 says, hey yo, what's up, Black Tiger? Welcome to the stream. Okay, ooh, Decepticon's music just kicked in there for me, I don't know why. Chairface, where's the haunting beats? Did you make that happen, Chairface? I didn't touch anything, it just started playing. So you're going to get a haircut for this week's multiple Firewall 0-hour streams? I'll have to, because I don't want my hairs to be sticking in the headset. You know how it is, Mr. Daniel. Illuminati confirmed. That was weird. That was weird how it started up when you said that. But I thought I was always playing for you, and then it was just like on my end. Sometimes I could hear it, sometimes against. Whatever, not important. First things first, let's talk about... I said I was going to go into the pre-order thing first, but I'm not. Because there is obviously the big thumbnail, the Firewall thing. Now listen, I don't have any news or updates or anything like that. Just wanted to say we are 1 week away from this Firewall big announcement, whatever it is. Fingers are crossed it's a PSVR2 title. Fingers are crossed even further that it's a Firewall related PSVR2 title. I think the signs are pointing to that. The fact that it's the 4th anniversary. It has to be somewhat Firewall related. What I wanted to say was, this whole week I'm off work. I'm going to be streaming a lot more. I think. I hope. Probably will. Definitely. I will. You know what? I'm going to put the foot down. I will. So if you're interested in building up a bit of hype for Firewall, I'm going to be doing some streams, some gameplay. I'm not exactly sure of the timing yet. It might be around this time, it might be a bit earlier. We'll see how things go. But tomorrow should be the start of it, and then tomorrow we'll set a blueprint for the rest of the week. And then I'm hoping on Sunday, which is the 28th of August, which is the anniversary, the big reveal, the big announcement, whatever it's going to be, I'd like to be streaming. You know, I have no idea when they're going to reveal us on that day. This is the problem, because they are 8 hours behind me over there as well, which is another thing I have to keep in mind. So will they reveal us like 6 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. their time, which is 2 a.m. my time? I don't know. But I do want to be streaming that, and then hopefully catching it live. And then that can be like an event, you know, our own little pumpkin patch event. We'll wait and see. Maybe as we get closer to the day, they might bring out further teasers or whatever. And that was another thing I wanted to point out really quickly about Firewall, is that they haven't actually tweeted anything since, I think, the 10th of August. So they've been kind of quiet now on Twitter in recent days, weeks. I think the last thing they did was retweet Tradition, who's here in the chat. And they haven't done anything since, which is kind of making me think maybe, you know, their heads are down now. They're really working hard on something. They don't have time for that nonsense. So yeah, I'm out of breath. Donnie says, I'm bald. I don't know. Solaris re-release, my dudes. Can you imagine? That'd be pretty funny. Black Tiger says, oh, I hope it looks like the demo they produced unannounced. Do you mean? Oh, yeah, you do. Flashlights on gun. Yeah, so that was what, 2017? I think it was like was it PSX? Or was that already gone by then? There was like a PlayStation event, and that's when they showed off Firewall for the first time. Showed off the compound map for the first time. Nighttime, dark interior, and the flashlights were going and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was something I really, really wanted all this time, was the flashlights. And hopefully that's something that we'll see in the future. Jason Ewan, how you doing? He says, hey everybody, or howdy everybody, I should say. Decepticon has sent me a DM. He said the next thing they're making is Bug Snacks DLC, but will it be on PSVR1 or PSVR2? Or is it just flat Bug Snacks DLC? That's the question. And Daniel enjoyed your humor, Decepticon. I think he's just been nice, if you ask me. So yeah, let's get into... I think that's all I want. Like, feel free to bring up Firewall all you want in the chat. We can talk about it throughout the whole thing. I'm not strict. You know, I just waffle on these streams. So yeah, bring up whatever you want. But I know you want to talk about the pre-order things. So let me pop this up. This is from this website, which I believe is called... Hold on, I wrote it down. Well, I typed this. I don't write anymore, if I can avoid it. The temptingoffersshop.com is where you can go. I think it might be Turkish or something. If you go there and if you search for PlayStation, not PlayStation VR2, PlayStation, you will see this. A listing for PSVR2 at a price of £356 sterling. Now that translates roughly to $400/€400. Same as PSVR1. So... Is this something you can trust? Is this something you should pre-order? Absolutely not. I don't think so. I'll be shocked if this isn't just someone putting in a placeholder. I mean, they were kind of silly to put... Well, I think they probably just guessed that the price will be somewhat similar to the first one. And maybe they will be right. That's like a reasonable enough guess. But yeah, I don't believe there's anything to this. I don't think they have any sources, any information. I think this is just someone typing this in. And I would recommend against... you know, rushing to pre-order from these guys or whatever, and for all we know, they won't even get the headsets, you know. I didn't like look at the website. I know you can't. I only got like a little small section of it here, but it's very basic looking. I'm taking these deep breaths. What's going on with me? Maybe COVID has like messed up my lungs. I don't know. Ace Diaz, how you doing, Ace Diaz? Ace Diaz, did you like comment or something? I saw a notification from you a while ago, and then I lost track of it. And I was like, I'm sure Ace Diaz said something to me in like the last week or two, maybe. What is that? Is that waffles with butter on it? Waffles? Oh, I'm waffling on. Is that what you're saying? Okay, I guess. Chairface says, looks sus. It is. To use the Amogus lingo, as they do in the streets, it does look sus. Mr. Jackpot says, I think $399 US will be the right price. If it's more, they will shot themselves in the foot. Almost like you shot yourself in the foot by your poor grammar. You should put another O in a shot to turn that to shoot. Embarrassing from the Questicle in the chat. But, I mean, we can talk about the price all day long. Like, I keep thinking, you know, the controllers are included this time, so surely the price is going to go up. But then I'm thinking, well, hold on a sec. It doesn't need the camera anymore, so maybe that'll bring the price down. But then it's the camera was separate anyway, so you know what I'm saying. I'm all over the fucking place, but you get what I'm saying. This headset is going to have way more tech in it. It's got all the adaptive triggers, the sensors, the haptics, the IR cameras built into it. Like, it's got a lot more going on than the PSVR1 did. However, PSVR1, they were able to sell that at a profit even from launch. So maybe they'll take a hit this time to match, you know. I'm expecting 400. That's what's in my head. I can't see it being any lower than that, at least. But you never know. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. But you never know, is what I wanted to say before I started singing. Black Tiger said, better come with a game and dual charging of wands. Dual charging of wands? What do you mean now? Do you mean like two cables so you can charge them at the same time? Too many blood puddings. Maybe that's what it is. I actually had sausages before this stream. And I wrapped them in bread. Just like a slice of pan. Bit of butter on it. And then I ate it like a bootleg hot dog, basically. And it was good. Tradition, any price that doesn't end in a 9 is bogus. See, that is a very, very valid point. That's like if you like look into marketing and how they price things, 9 times out of 10 they will put like 999. That's why you see things like 399. It's a psychological thing, because the human brain will focus on the 3 instead of how close it is to a 4. It's only $1 away from a 4. So it kind of tricks the mind into thinking it's cheaper than it is. I'm sure there's exceptions, of course. But yeah, that's a great point from Tradition. A man who is no stranger to having great points. PlayStation should have the big S. Well, this is where I'm thinking, you know, the whole website is kind of, what's the word? Kind of like my streams. You compare my streams to like PSVR Without Parole or Gamertag. They've got like the flashy animations. Gamertag has got his own custom cool like animation when he starts. PSVR Without Parole has got like, you know, he's changing camera angles on the fly and all this kind of shit. And then you come here and you see these things scrolling on top. They're not aligned correctly. And it drives me insane, but I'm never to the point where I'll actually fix it. And sometimes the comments will pop up on the screen. Sometimes they won't. That's what the equivalent is here. You know, I'm kind of bootleg. But I wouldn't rule us out just based on that. However, I will rule us out based on everything else. Yugo VR AC2 says, sup pum. And then one of these. What are these called? I don't even know. How you doing, Yugo? Nice to see you. Mr. Jackpot says, English is my second linguaje. Is that linguaje? Is that a real Mexican word? I know you speak Spanish, but you know. I like to accommodate my Latinx friends. And Mr. Jackpot is certainly one of those. So yeah. Whoa. Things are falling. Ignore the noise. Try to ignore that. Mr. Daniel says, you're just super moist is all. Got you out of breath. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I didn't feel like this before, but for the last few streams I've been doing, I just feel like I'm always out of breath. I don't know what that is. Probably just the obesity. Mr. Chairface says HDR OLED screen. Exactly. All these little things. Well, actually, OLED was already in PSVR 1, I think. It's the HDR that's, you know, another additional cost. SDS says, I don't think is going to be Firewall 2. Well, that's interesting. I'm not going to say, for like, I'm no 100% for certain that it is Firewall 2. I'm just putting it out there that seems to be what makes the most sense, based on what we know. But if you want to put out a counter argument, I'm more than happy to listen and see what you got. Decepticon says, you don't know anything about the human brain. Did I claim I did? I'm trying to remember the last 2 minutes of conversation and I don't remember talking about the brain. But I know more than you anyway. I'm the marketing thing. Yeah. Hey, listen, I did business. I have a bachelor degree in business. This website is suspect, says Daniel, who translated what Chairface said earlier on into English. Okay. So just to reiterate, and the reason I even brought this up was because I saw Polish Paul's video popped up in the feed, and it was about this pre-order. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'll pop this on. Paul popped up with his beautiful face. You know, we all love Polish Paul. He starts talking about this, and I look at this website immediately and I'm like, this is bootleg as fuck. And he himself practically comes to the same conclusion, saying, you know, don't trust this. But I knew what would happen is the next time I stream, there's going to be people saying, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? So I just want to bring this up, address it. I don't believe it, even though it could be right. But if it is right, I just think it's a pure fluke, lucky guess. As I struggle to breathe. You know, we're smooth brain in this patch. You got it, Donnie. The smooth, that's how I like them. That's how I like my brains. Nice and smooth. So yeah, I don't know, is there anything else to say about this? Fake PP, fake news. Which one is the fake now? Me or Polish Paul? Who's the real PP? So yeah, what's the next thing we want to talk about? Feel free to bring up, you know, anything we've already discussed. Again, we'll talk about it again if you want, or questions or whatever. So yeah, don't buy it. Next thing we want to talk about is Gamescom. Hopefully the volume is off on all these. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, that should be off. Excuse me, going through puberty again. So yeah, Gamescom this week in Germany. Tuesday, I believe it is 7 p.m. my time. So what's 5 hours away from that? 3 p.m. Eastern time or whatever. This is when the stream starts. And I believe those companies like Fast Travel Games are going to be there. I don't know if they're going to be in this showcase, but they're going to be at Gamescom, and they've been teasing that they've got a new announcement. So there will be VR games at this. And there is this 2-hour event. So, since I'm on holidays, why not stream it, you know? So this is just kind of a heads up to say that I will be covering this, and hopefully we'll get some virtual reality goodness. And even if they don't say, even if it's like a Quest game or a Valve Index game or PSVR or whatever, and they don't say PSVR2, that doesn't mean they can't come to PSVR2. It's just that, you know, PSVR2 isn't even a thing yet, really. Not properly. It's not out. Decepticon says Paul is the faker. I'll agree with that. No offense, Paul. Ace Diaz says, if First Contact Entertainment come out with something new, better be 5v5 this time, because I won't get it. Listen, that's fair enough. If everyone has their own, you know, wants, desires, or whatever. But I feel like, personally, and because I am a moderator for First Contact Entertainment, like I see a lot of complaints from people on what they want, and like the biggest thing is dedicated servers and best of 3 rounds or best of 5 rounds. That's like the biggest thing. And then like stuff like 5v5, I see some people want it, but it's not like it doesn't seem to be like a make or break type thing. So I don't know, would they do that? If they do 5v5, all of a sudden every map needs to be bigger than what they're used to and like balanced differently. I'm not saying they won't do it. Maybe they do 6v6, maybe they do 10v10, who knows? But we'll see. Daniel says the smoothest. Because even if they don't announce Firewall 2, I think it is only a matter of time. You know, based on how successful Firewall 1 was. So we will see one day what they do. Black Tiger says, I'm actually excited for the pirate ship game. Is that the Blood and Bones? Skull and Bones one? that was like in development hell for ages. I'd be a bit worried about that one personally. But I did like the pirate stuff in Assassin's Creed. Was it 3 that it started? Definitely 4 anyway. Deadeye Daniel, how you doing? I hope you're well, Deadeye Dan. I hope the Triple Ds are keeping well also. And Mr. Deej also in the chat. How you doing, Deej? And he hopes everybody is well, and I'm sure we all hope you are well too, Deej. Give me them viewer deets. That's what I hope to see on this Tuesday from Jeff Keighley, live in Germany. You know what's weird? Or just a quick random thing. My best friend that I grew up with since I was like 4 years old, known him my whole life, he actually works for like a gaming company now, and he's going to be at this like in a booth. Isn't that crazy? And he doesn't know any like I do any of this shit. But he might meet like gamer tag and stuff, which is completely random. The ones who are going anyway. David Higgins, it has to be Firewall related, not First Contact Entertainment related. Well, Firewall is First Contact Entertainment related, but I get your point. And I agree, because it is the 4th anniversary. So why would they announce anything other than a Firewall thing on the anniversary of Firewall? You know? It can't be Solaris or even a new IP. Like, if they really wanted to announce a new IP, do it the next day. Why that day? Because it's a Sunday as well. Excuse me, I'm burping. I'm feeling it coming up. I don't want to burp into the mic. But I might. If you're not behaving yourself. Mr. Jackpot says, it seems like they would be stupid if they don't bring Firewall 2 after the success of the first one. Especially with all the shit they can do with the PS5. I think we're all in agreement there, but it is all down to Sony. And in the past, at least, we know Sony can make stupid decisions.
Brother. 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Is that Mr. Cow?
Nice place to deposit somebody, brother.
Cow714 has just donated
Cow.
2 through Super Chat. Soaking moist, hello father.
My son. The prodigal son returns. Or maybe the prodigal father returns, I should say. Thank you very much for that generosity, Mr. Cow. Cow, wow, 714. We missed you. And I appreciate the generosity. Thank you. But to get back to us, Mr. Jackboss, Sony have indeed made stupid decisions in the past, you know? I mean, cancelling Days Gone 2, some would argue that was a stupid decision. It apparently sold, or at least 8 million people played it, apparently. I don't know if that's like a definite thing, and then they scrapped Days Gone 2, forced them to work on a new game. But yeah, it's all down to them because they own the IP, you know? Mr. Chairface says, lobbies and VR need to be fun places to muck around. Well, if there is a new Firewall, a Firewall 2, these are like the nuts and bolts, like you really need to be examining, like what's going to be changing. Like you said, stuff like that needs to be more interactive. Like hopefully, that was another thing that people really wanted, was like a firing range or something while you're waiting. So, you know, turns a bit more social. Remember when you could move around in the lobby screens? Those were good times. David Higgins, surely they learned from Solaris, the mess of a game, nobody wanted it and flopped. Well, listen, when they revealed Solaris, I was like, okay, it's First Contact Entertainment. I know they've got like a great pedigree with first person shooting in virtual reality, so I'm absolutely going to try Solaris out, and hopefully it's something that clicks with me, even though sci-fi futuristic shit isn't my style anyway. But if you're someone who loves Quake and stuff like that, you were probably looking at Solaris and being like, oh, this is up my alley, you know. But not for me personally. And we got Roy Schwartz peeping and creeping with his yellow nose. Roy, it is a pleasure to have you peeping in the chat, watching, undressing me with your eyes, hopefully. Uh-oh, freeze. Have I frozen? Another freeze? Maybe this is your internet? I don't know. Nobody else has mentioned freezing yet, but we'll see. Hello. Throw up on stream, you'll go viral. Decepticon always wants me to do something to go viral. He wants my chair to break. which won't happen now because I got a new chair. At least until I gain a few more stone, and then it might break again. He's always on about, die on stream, go viral. It's now his throw up on stream, Did you ever hear that Dark Sider Phil guy? And he thought the camera was off after a stream, but it wasn't off. And then he was at himself, if you know what I mean. He started going at himself after the stream had ended, but the camera was pointing right at him. And I know about him, so it worked. So maybe that's what I'll do. Once again, let me point this out from Cow. The generosity, the $2 dues, and that immense hairstyle from Cow. Black Tiger says, Skull and Bones, yes, but actually want Beyond Good and Evil 2 from Ubisoft, though. Is that game still actually happening? I feel like it's been ages since I've heard anything about it. Daniel, the last big announcement they had was them hiring Dion, the director. Somebody did bring that up the last time, but I don't think they were. I mean, listen, I can't remember. He's been there with them now for a couple of years, so I can't remember exactly how they hyped that up. But I'm fairly confident in saying that they didn't say, hey, 4th anniversary or 3rd anniversary or 2nd anniversary, we're going to have a big announcement. Here's Dion, the director, joining the team. This seems like it's something that they're hyping up themselves, and they're doing it for a long time. Over a month at this stage. Mama Maya. Long time Cow. Damn, I'm really behind in these comments. Roy Schwartz with the spuds. Tasty spuds with the skin still on. That's where all the flavour is. Mr. Fozzie Bear. How you doing, Mr. Fozzie Bear? I'm not even going to mention your you-know-what this time. I'm trying to grow as a character, be more interesting. So we'll talk about something else. What other things are you into other than foreskin? I don't really know much about you, Fozzie Bear, but tell me. Zero, I remember when we could move in the lobby. It was the crack. Now this is not to be confused with the American crack, which is a hardcore drug. It's Irish crack, which is just a good time, Firewall 0 Hour 2 Petrified Pumpkin Edition. Can you imagine that little pumpkin ornament, like a model, a 1-to-1 scale of me, maybe? That would be even better. Pre-order that. 20 grand. At least. David Higgins says it was a step backward in my opinion. Oh, you're talking about Solaris. I just wanted to scroll back up to make sure that was you who said that. Listen, that's fair enough. But the thing to remember about Solaris is that wasn't Sony backed. So they didn't have Sony funding for that game, as far as I know. So, when you can see how they didn't really support it, nothing like they have with Firewall anyway. That might have everything to do with just the funding and whatnot. No Freezing says, did I Dan? Thank you very much. Decepticon says, do that. I have no idea what he's talking about. Die? Maybe. Dying says, can't die but once. Oh, masturbate probably. Sorry. Can't die but once, but you can throw up multiple times. It could work. Well, listen, you're all talking me around to us. I'll think about it. Roy, I'm a stone bigger after eating burgers and fries. Sounds delicious. Roy, it sounds like just a traditional American thing. Bag of burgers. Danny says, you're right, Dion's hiring had no build-up. Well, there must have been some build-up if people were like, oh, we have a big announcement. So there must have been some kind of a build-up, but I don't think it was anything compared to what we have now, is what I was trying to say. Maybe queef on command and might go viral. Interesting. A reverse queef, because, of course, I don't have the proper equipment for a normal queef. Pig wave, pig slap, pig hand, pork chop, because he's doing a karate chop. See, the hand is moving. There you go. David Higgins, opinion. Oh, in your opinion, sorry, yeah, your last one cut out. It's like laser tag. You want ultra realism in VR or complete fantasy, and Solaris is too beige, if you get my meaning. The type Gen 1 game and we need Gen 2. Fair enough. I'm not going to say you're wrong about anything like that. Although I think they were going for VR within VR. That was like their whole thing, is like you're controlling a character who is being controlled by a real person, but you're in like a virtual reality, even within the virtual reality, if you know what I mean. So it was all, you know, holograms and fantasy. Well, not fantasy, but, you know, that kind of sci-fi aesthetic. Squeak one out. It's not really a squeak, it's more of a ft. I can fift one out, maybe. We'll see. Ray's watching. Muzzleton is here. How you doing, Muzz? Hey, what's this about the pre-order date leak? There we go. There it is. See? Maybe I should have just kept that on the screen, maybe. Basically, a website, a dodgy website, has put up PSVR2, and they put it up for 350 something sterling pound. And that information comes from Polish Paul. So if you want to check out his latest video, he'll go into more detail about that. But basically, it's sketchy as fuck. It's dodgy as fuck, and I recommend not trying to pre-order from there. I don't even know if you can, if the option is there, but still. The Wolf Craze. What's up, Mr. Wolf? Yeah, strange. Both of their other titles failed, but Firewall succeeded. Could be because Sony wouldn't let it die. I think as well, because of what it was. Like, it's basically way closer to COD than either of their other games were, and COD is such like a massive franchise. It just has more appeal, a more like widespread appeal. Battlefield as well, or Rainbow Six Siege, all those kind of modern military kind of aesthetics or whatever. They just appeal to more people, and including myself, you know. I'm not even here, says Roy. Just watching, always watching. Anyway, that's enough of Gamescom. Get that off the screen. What else do we want to talk about? Let's talk about Alvo. And make sure it's muted. It is muted. So basically, new update came out for Alvo, and it's already out. This is like old news. You probably heard about it already. I'm just, you know how I am. I'm slow to the party. But basically, 2 new maps. The Sanatorium, which is kind of like a horror vibe. You got like zombies and stuff going on as well. They've added like new characters, which are like skins, and that you have to unlock, and they haven't told people how to unlock it. I think one way is to like play 20 rounds on this new map, and then you get like a zombie skin, and there's another one that nobody knows how to unlock yet, I don't think. And there's another map as well that you'll see in this trailer that's playing beside me, and it is a dojo, like a Japanese style karate dojo, Cobra Kai looking place, you know. And apparently 2 new grenades as well. I'm not sure about the details on the grenades. You probably know more about it than me. I haven't touched Alvo or any VR game in ages. So yeah, that's just something I wanted people to be aware of, that there is some new content there for Alvo, and I think they're still working on getting crossplay between PSVR and Quest. I think Sony on their end might be slowing them down. I don't know the details, but there is some issues getting that up and running. Fozzie Bear says, I'll be taking pre-orders also. All I need is a credit card. There you go. I trust Fozzie Bear with my life, so give him your credit card details. Ooh, got some slowdown here. What's going on there? Hopefully I'm not crashed. Donnie says, I didn't see any of that last night on Alvo. You were on Alvo last night? You didn't see any of this? Still waiting for the realism in the levels, says Black Taya. Now, are you talking about Alvo, or are you talking about like when Firewall comes, you want to see like super realistic levels powered by PS5? Guess since you aren't streaming tonight, I'll check it out. I'll be streaming tomorrow, hopefully, Mr. Daniel. Well, not even hopefully, I will. Black Tiger says, looking a bit PS Vita. Keep in mind, Martin Paul, very small team. You know, Sony are definitely not backing them for this game. So yeah, it's not going to have maybe as much polish and whatnot. But Alvo certainly has its passionate fans. And for good reason. Maybe try Pete and Bass. Bass? I don't know who Bass is. Alvo. Okay. Muzz, are you having a Firewall stream on the 28th in preparation for the inevitable sequel announcement? Well, I'm hoping to do Firewall streams all this week. And then on the 28th, I'll just do like a stream where we're basically chilling, I guess, and refreshing. Where should I even refresh? PS Blog, their Twitter feed, I don't know. But hopefully we can catch that announcement live. Unless it, like, at the last minute they cancel us, and then, well, that would really ruin my day. But speaking of ruining my day, look who's here. Nert Boglin got out of the swamp once again. How you doing, Nert Boglin? What's up, gamers? Damn, don't ever call me a gamer again. I hate that. Daniel says, go ahead and RSVP me for tomorrow night. Now, be careful, because you say tomorrow night. Keep in mind, my nice is different to your nice. You know, there's a time difference there. But, absolutely, Danny. And how's your PS5 going? Have you got that all set up? And every night throughout. Nice one, Danny. I'm sure I'll be struggling to find a team. But if we can get a lot of people, we can do maybe some private matches or whatever. Mr. 007 says, 4-year anniversary Firewall 0 Hour 2 announcement, August 28th. Please, First Contact Entertainment, don't mess this up, says Mr. 007. Fingers crossed. Let's send all the positive energy we can. You know, if you're into that karma or crystals. I know Decepticon is into crystals. You know, he's always cleansing things. So maybe he could say a little prayer. He was always doing little prayers with werewolves within. And hopefully we'll get a nice little announcement on the 28th. Did you like Home Sweet Home? It's on sale. That's something I look into because it's one I wanted to get. Actually, Decepticon, speaking of him, put me off it because he said he was enjoying it. He got to the end and there was some like big glitch or bug or something and he couldn't get past it, and that threw me off. So yeah, that is the Alvo information. If you want to try some new Alvo content, you can just go ahead and download this. It's out now on PSVR. Probably some other insignificant headsets as well, but we won't mention those. Another thing I do want to mention though is this, which is the Disney and Marvel gaming showcase that they're doing. This is the first one ever from what I know. It's going to be on the 9th of September. I don't know if I'll be able to stream this. What's that, 4 p.m. Eastern time, so that'll be 9 p.m. my time. So if I'm working that day, I won't be able to get it live. But the reason I'm talking about this is because if there is an Iron Man 2 from Camouflage, which is the last stream I did, we talked about that. This could be where it shows up. You know, it is a Marvel game, obviously. So that lines up with our interests, if you know what I'm saying. Mus says, I'm happy that the announcement is on the 28th because I always have Sundays off. There you go. It is, other than like the fact that it's on the anniversary, like it's very unusual, I think, to get any kind of announcements on a Sunday. So this will certainly be maybe catching people with their pants down, but not us, because we know, we're in the know. If you know, you know. Mr. Daniel says the PS5 is set up, but I have to switch the PSVR over to it still. Yeah. I'm assuming you have your adapter. Black Tiger says, gotta do that lucky squirt moisture droplet. I don't know what that means. Gotta do that lucky, and then wetness. I'm not too sure. Just in time BS. How are you doing, just in time? Is there perhaps the Alien Servios game? Do you mean, could that be at Gamescom? Or what do you mean? Does Disney own that? That won't be at this. Oh shit, it does. I just started seeing fucking the alien in the video beside me there. I had no idea they owned the Alien franchise as well. That's messed up. But yeah, if they do own that, then absolutely there's a chance it'll be there. SDS says, do you still play Solaris? Can you stream Solaris one of these days? I'll be honest with you, I have not played Solaris since the last time I streamed it. And if you go through my videos, you'll see that was like a long time ago. I will not do it this week because I want this week to be Firewall centric, if you know what I'm saying. But absolutely something I would like to stream again if we can get like a group. I'm not sure how healthy the player base is for that, so if it was just going to be randoms, we could be waiting a while. But yeah, I'm not against playing Solaris again. There were certainly enjoyable parts to that game. Germ, welcome, Mr. Germforth. Even though you're a PC player now, and we gotta look at you with suspicion, but basically your pants are always down. So You're alright in my books. Nert Boglin says, it's great to see this community still very much alive. Thank you, Nert. But no matter how much you flatter me, I will never treat you with the same respect I treat anyone else in this chat. So every community needs a punching bag, Nert. You serve a very valuable role, and sometimes I just have to take my frustrations out on someone, and unfortunately for you, it is you. You know? Adapter, I've had it for over a year. Well, there you go. You're ready to go. Agreed with Germ. Why wear pants? And this could be a topic. Maybe I'll do like a lifestyle channel, and then we'll do streams where we can talk about that. The real important questions. They own everything, says Fozzie. It's depressing. Depressing scenes. Thanks, says Ace Diaz. No problem. Well, thank me after we do it, because God knows, anything could happen. Germ Vorf is a fellow PC player. I'm happy to be the punching bag. Well, there you go. That's the kind of attitude that makes you a punching bag, Mr. Nart. Boss, listen, I appreciate it. We all do. And that's all there is to say about Marvel as well. Like, I don't think... I mean... Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, they're being made by Insomniac, which is owned by Sony, so you'd imagine they'd show up at a Sony showcase. But since there's rumors of a Sony showcase in September also, maybe they tease us a little bit here and then they go into it in more depth in a Sony one, or something like that could happen. Maybe the reverse could happen. Maybe a Sony showcase happens before this and then they go into detail and here with like Spider-Man or Wolverine, whatever. And for all we know, Insomniac history with VR, so we could see Spider-Man having VR support, we could see Wolverine having VR support, especially with, you know, the gloves, not gloves, the sense controllers. Gloves. Speaking of PC, how about that Metal Gear Solid VR Boneworks mod? That was like, man, it's only 3 sections, but just like, I really want to get my hands on it, basically. I saw it on Twitter. I saw that he has like the textures, even the way they flicker and shit, because it was imperfect on PS1. Like if you turn the camera a certain way, they'll start like fidgeting and shit. He seemed to have replicated that somehow, and it just looked amazing. And even if there was no gameplay, and I could just walk through them in environments, like all of Shadow Moses in virtual reality with PS1 graphics, I'd be happy. Black Tiger says, dang, DC lost Alien and Predator to Disney. These are dark times we're living in. We're living in a bad timeline. Something went wrong. Just come to the dark side. Come on. The dark side is expensive. That's the reason I'm not there. Like, I need a desktop. That like a... You know, if I want to stream and if I want to edit and stuff like that, then I want like a beefy enough desktop. That's something I'd have to work towards, but it's going to have to wait until after PSVR2 now, basically. Moz says, I don't know about you guys, but ever since I stopped playing Firewall religiously, I've been in such a gaming funk. Just counting the days until PSVR2 and Firewall 2 plus other great games. That's a good point, Moz. To some extent, I agree with you. I mean, I still look forward to certain games, like the big Sony first party stuff that always seems to be like, you know, top level stuff, even though it's flat. But then, like, you know, the likes of Saints Row that I'm seeing, the new one coming out, I'm looking at that and it's like, when I was 10 years ago, I'd be like all over that shit. I'd be like, wow, that's cool. I can sit in a car and shoot other cars and stuff. Wow. You know, but now it just looks trash and I'm not interested. You know, you just don't have the interactivity. You're not in the game anymore. You know, that if that was a VR game, it'd be a different story, but it's not. But yeah, VR can ruin flat for sure. Daniel, I give it up to Ace Diaz. He has done so much trying to bring life back to Solaris. But if the two of you streamed this, I'm sure we could get enough people to play. I wasn't not aware that Ace Diaz was championing Solaris in the background. So fair play to you, Mr. Diaz. Better buy a Questicle. Why would I do that? This is the worst time ever to buy a Questicle. Number one, didn't the price just go up by $100 or something like that? Is that next month or has that already happened? I think it's already happened. Secondly, PSVR2 is so close now. That's like, And you think it's far away because you're thinking, oh, 2023, but we're already more than halfway through 2022. 6 months it could be out. 6 months is nothing. Can't even bring a baby to term in 6 months, Nothing. Geisen, how you doing, Mr. Geisen? Fox owned Alien and Predator. DC is owned by Warner Bros. Okay, I just took his word for it because I wasn't sure who owned Alien and Predator. I'm not that into those franchises that I know who owns them. But I do know that Disney bought Fox, so that does make sense. And I saw the new Prey movie. Has anyone seen that? I thought it was pretty decent. Some decent action. Nert Boglin says, I think Sony should release their viewer games on PC just like some of their flat games. Adding crossplay would help with lobbies too. I think they should definitely do that for any of their multiplayer games. So if there is a Firewall 2, maybe it should be crossplay. But of course you have to keep in mind the size of the studios working on these things. If you're going to ask them to do a PC port, you're adding a lot of work, and then you're opening yourself up to cheating and shit like that. That's the stuff I'm not looking forward to with, how crossplay is becoming more and more prevalent now with PC, and PlayStation titles also increasing the frequency with which they're moving over to PC. So I think the likes of The Last of Us Factions, which is coming out next year supposedly, if that has crossplay, I'm expecting to see, God knows what you'll see. Some guy turning on God mode, flying through the level and just killing everyone from under the map or some shit. Disney bought out Fox, says Daniel. Decepticon says Alien Queen will have eyelashes. What is this? I can't even follow. Where's this? Who's he responding to here when he says this? Black Tiger says there was an Alien and Predator with Dark Horse Comics, but now it will be Marvel, and Mortal Kombat will not have in future. Oh, interesting. Because were they in Mortal Kombat 11? Predator? I think Alien was definitely in one of them. I can't remember Predator though. Anyway, Deesh says that piece of shit is going that piece of shit is going up in price. I love the passion that Deej brings. I missed that one. We did talk about it. Well, did I talk about it in the video? I did. I don't know if it was in a title, but it was a topic we went into. And then if you go to, well, you're not on Twitter anymore, are you? But basically, 3 Oculus ambassadors came to my house that night and beat me up for speaking the truth. And they'll probably beat me up again tonight because I'm going off script again. Daniel says Prey was fire. Geisen also enjoying Prey. I like how they went back in time. That was a cool idea. Bringing it back to basics, Germ says they just need to have PC support for PSVR2, and I think they will. But they still need to port the likes of a Firewall or whatever other first party games they might have. Nix will be busy. They might have to buy another studio to port all these games because they've already got their plate full with what they just after putting out fucking Spider-Man, and they got Miles Morales coming out soon, and God knows what's after that. Returnal is rumored. Demon's Souls also rumored to go to PC. Muzz says keep PC cheesers out of my Firewall, please. If they do go that route, I want an option to turn off crossplay. If there's no cheating, or if the cheating isn't too bad, fine, I'll leave it on. But if it is a problem, give me the option to turn that off. Excuse me, please. Geisen says Alien and Predator was in Mortal Kombat games. Okay. Were they in the most recent one, 11? Or is it just in the past? Nert Boglin says Germ Vorf, that could be interesting, but they would have to make their own digital platform. Apparently, a PlayStation platform is coming to PC. Their own storefront or whatever. Which is going to be interesting because they've been investing in Epic, and Epic have their own game store, and they've been pally with them. They've been putting some of their exclusives on the Epic game store so they can't get them on Steam. So it'll be interesting to see if that relationship sours when they bring their own storefront. Daniel says, I told you what to do, PP. Let me know. I'll be on a flight in 2 hours to have your back. What is this in relation? Oh, the Oculus ambassadors. Yes, thank you, Donnie. But listen, they're Oculus ambassadors. You know, I'm not too worried. They don't got no upper body strength. Geisen says the pistol in Predator 2 is the same. Oh, I'm not gonna. As far as I'm concerned, that's a massive spoiler. I'm gonna get that off the screen. Let me get that off the screen, Geisen. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's not even a big deal either, though. But whatever. 007 says, can someone make Firewall 0 Hour 2 in Dreams, please? Well, they still have to add fucking multiplayer into that game. How long is that going to take? I feel like they've been talking about multiplayer for years now, and we're still waiting on it. Deej, did Dreams ever... Well, there you go. Did Dreams ever get multiplayer? I'm so out of the loop. No, it didn't. There you go. Now we're all in the loop together now. Let me get rid of this fucking... You know what, I just realized all that Marvel shit on the screen probably got like loads of copyright flags just from having that. I'm trying to think, have we touched every topic now? Disney, Firewall, Gamescom, Alvo, and the pre-order leak. That's everything that I wanted to talk about anyway. So if you do have something you want to say it now, because we're getting close, dangerously close to ending the stream. Mr. Nerd says, Dreams is a great concept, but I can't help but to feel it would work far, far better on PC. That's one game I'd be very, very happy to see go to PC, because, you know, I imagine just the creation process will be way easier on PC than it is using the controllers, even the Move controllers or whatever. And I just saw a video today, actually, of a level in Dreams where somebody has made, you know, those adult colouring books. They've made that in Dreams, where basically you just match the color to the number. Very simple, very easy, but it looks very relaxing. And you can do it in VR. Mr. Paxton, is it yourself that's in us? Hey Snake, long time no see. Long time is right. But hopefully I'll see more of you now that there's a potential Firewall announcement coming soon, Mr. Paxton. I hope you've been well. Geisen, Mortal Kombat X had the Alien and Predator. Ooh. Pretty cool additions, in fairness. I'll have to look up their fatalities. Jedi Dan, are you going to be streaming more regularly? I will be for this week, anyway. In the future, though, things might be a little bit more spotty again, because we are in the middle of purchasing a house. So there will be a move at some point, and then there could be issues with internet. I don't know how long that will be, or when it's going to be. It's kind of... We're just in the middle of it now, so I can't give any concrete answers. But hopefully by Christmas we'll be settled into the house, maybe. But don't worry, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing anything on the channel until Christmas. It's just, you know, it might be hard to get a rhythm when the moving and all that stuff actually happens. Martin Nebelong is recreating PT in Dreams. He is one of the best Dreams creators out there. I follow him on Twitter. He's always posting like really impressive things on like time lapse. Like he'll create a whole scene in like an hour, but he speeds through it, and it just looks really impressive when he's done. So check him out. Donnie, good shout out from Martin Nebelong. 007, I hope they announce a new aim controller too. Need both. I feel like this is going to be maybe I will just make like an edited video where I outline, at least in my opinion, the potential pros and cons, or the needs, how vital an aim controller 2 is when we have these new controllers that can do things that the moves couldn't, you know, that they might fulfill a function that the aim did that the moves couldn't. That could be interesting. Black Tiger says, do you think the PS5 remastered games that had VR on... Hold on, let me read this again. Do you think the PS5 remastered games that had VR on PSVR version will get VR mode? So do you mean like Resident Evil 7? Because that already does have a PS5 mode. Or an update, I should say. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Will they get like a PS5 version for PSVR2 or not? And then, seeing as they've made Resident Evil 8, would they port over those controls and, like, you know, have hands in the game and stuff like that? It's all up in the air. I don't think it's going to have backwards compatibility anyway, so I think updates are going to be important for those kind of games if we want to see any kind of continuation of them on PS5. properly so that we can actually put the headset away. You know, this headset that we have now, not the PSVR2, obviously. Deadeye Dan says, hope it all goes smoothly for you, Pumps, and hopefully you will have good internet. I hope so too, Deadeye Dan, and thank you very much for the well wish. I really hope so too. I'll be screwed if I don't have good internet there. Deej says, I'll get my headset set up and hopefully jump on Firewall with you all this week. Deej, thank you very much. I'll probably like be spamming people. And when we're looking for people to join, I'll just be like mashing invites out to everyone. Including you, Deej. Nerd says, if PSVR doesn't come out before Xmas, they will miss a noticeable portion of sales. That is true, Nerd. And I'm sure they know that themselves, and I'm sure they're like deeply regretting not being able to get it out before Christmas, which I don't think they will. I do believe that Without Parole have a reliable source there, and they're saying, you know, it's not happening until 2023, so that's what I believe will be the case. But yeah, I think it's just something that was outside of their control and that they couldn't get it done in time. Muzz. With PSVR 2, just imagine having a really great cinema mode where we can all join you in your virtual theater and resume the bad movie watches again. That would be class. The reason I don't think... Well, I could see us being able to watch like YouTube or something like that. But then once it comes to actual like custom content or some shit like that, you can get away with that shit in PC. But when it's on PlayStation, it's a closed environment, and Sony are responsible for what they're putting through on that. So you can like imagine anything copyrighted at all is going to be a big no-no. But yeah, there's some good stuff on YouTube, you know, so that might not be bad. Daniel, the Aim 2 pros and cons vid is a must, so you can get everything info-wise together for presentation. Well, thank you, Donnie. I will aim to do that. Maybe I'll do it this week. If I can get some time. But this is something that's going to require a bit of thought as well. Germ says, if there's no two-handed controller or peripheral for PSVR 2, it'll kill a lot of the excitement for me. Okay. I think that even if there isn't an Aim 2, that there will absolutely be, someone's going to be 3D printing some kind of thing that like sticks them together or something like that. That's absolutely going to happen. Or maybe you can just make like some kind of bootleg, you know, thing yourself at home. I don't know, but if Sony don't do it themselves, I can see, you know, like with the Aim controller, how people were making their own like butt stocks and shit like that. So I can see it being that kind of a market opening up for that. Black Tiger says, No Man's Sky PS5 does not have VR. While I can put the PSVR version on, I know, it's annoying. You have to go to the PS4 version to allow this. But at least we know for that they will support PS5. Like the PS5 version will, they've confirmed that. For No Man's Sky at least. But it's going to be like a game by game basis, I think. Fuzzy Bear says, I'll try my best to team up for some Firewall. There we go. The gang's getting back together. I can't even remember what your name was, Fuzzy Bear, on PlayStation Network. It's been that long since I played with you. Probably Fuzzy Bear now. Deej says, I'm sure No Man's Sky will get a PS5 PSVR 2 update. Yes, that's confirmed. You don't have to guess that. That's what they showed at the last. Was it a State of Play? That was the last thing? I can't remember. But where they showed off Resident Evil 4 and all that, that's where they confirmed that. Hopefully they get big screen. Hopefully. But then, like, that opens you up to, like, the whole thing about big screen is that you put up your own files and shit, isn't it? So I don't know if they'll be allowed to do that. You know what Sony are like. Like, I could never see them getting viewer chat, for example. Black Tiger says, I want a PSVR 2 portable. It's possible that if PSVR 2 like fails, if it sells like only as much as PSVR 1, they might, well, they could either step out of the PSVR game altogether, or they might look at the Quest and be like, okay, we need to do standalone if we want to have any success here. So it is possible that they could go that route, but hopefully they won't fail. Deej, any news on PokerStars PSVR? I think it's time we give up that dream, Deej. I'm assuming that was Sony's doing, you know, can't be gambling, can't be encouraging people gambling in VR and all this kind of shit, and bad for the kiddies and whatnot. Mr. Jackpot says we won't get big screen for the PSVR2, but didn't the developers say that it was coming to PSVR1? So why would they say that though if they thought they could get away with it? But then it never did. So there you go. That maybe answers that question. Muzz says maybe you could get around it by putting a movie on the USB and running it that way. Maybe. But what if you live stream yourself? Can you live stream yourself on big screen? Is that something you can do on the PC? You probably can. So then you wouldn't need to. Listen, I don't know. Like, I'm not technical enough to know about all these kind of things, and you know, Sony. All I know is that Sony are very protective, and if there's any way they might get sued, and actually that makes me, you know, that reminds me of something that I was always confused by, is why they never really cracked the whip down on Dreams, because there's all like Super Mario shit there all the time. I was sure that was all going to get removed. I know they cracked down a bit on like audio stuff, like they shortened the amount that you could record or upload or whatever. So I don't know. They're inconsistent, I suppose. Mus is not sure if you can play movies off a USB on the PS5, though you can't. You can on PS4 using the media player app, but I'm sure a media player app will come to PS5 eventually. Excuse me, I got too excited because it's Mr. Paxton again. I made my own buttstock. Well, there you go. That means you could maybe make your own frame, or I don't know what the word would be. Frame is what comes into my mind, because I'm picturing something that you just place these sense controllers into, and then all of a sudden it goes into two-handed mode, you know? I can see people being able to make their own stuff like that if Sony don't provide us with an M2, which they very well could. Germ, I worry the game design could require independent movement for each hand in a lot of cases. Well, that's a very, very interesting point, Germ. And I worry too that if that's the case, that it would change the feel of Firewall, like, greatly, you know? I mean, if you're talking about bringing manual reloads or something like that in, then all of a sudden you just press a button in Firewall 1 and you got like a perfect reload every time. Now imagine you have to fumble for the magazine, you're under pressure, maybe you get frustrated more easily, maybe you quit more easily, you know? It's kind of like the Pavlov style. But a lot of people will be like, well, that's a superior way, it's more immersive, etc., etc. And as long as the tracking is good enough, it shouldn't be a problem. But it will never be as efficient or consistent as a button press for a reload example anyway, or like opening doors and stuff like that. If you get what I mean. Decepticon says everyone get a PC and we can all do all these things right now. I mean, you're right, and I wish if I had the money for a PC, I'd get one. I'd even get a Quest, and I'd be playing Phasmophobia right now. I'd be streaming this. That's what I would be doing if I had the cash. But unfortunately, we live in the real world, Decepticon, and my cash has to be put towards petrol all the time now. Daniel says, what happened to Impulse Gear? They could always come out with Farpoint 2 and make the aim as well. Well, that's a good point, Daniel, because Impulse Gear are the devs who worked closely with Sony to make the original aim controller, but then they stabbed us all in the back when they went and made that Larcenauts game for the Questicle. And I think that has not gone too well for them. At least I don't really hear anyone talking about Larcenauts. But I'm hoping they're just biding their time, waiting for PSVR2 to come out, and then they hit us with Farpoint 2 Aim Controller 2 announcement. But if it's anything like Farpoint 1, it wouldn't be a launch title. It'll be like a few months after launch. Or was it a year after launch? When did Farpoint come out? 2017? Phobos says Firewall 2 is coming. I hope so, Phobos. How you doing? Nice to see you. Mr. Jackpot says, I just hope they don't take too long to port Phasmophobia. I think they already have, to be honest. I think that Ghostbuster game, I mean, it's probably not going to be as fun as Phasmophobia, but it's like, might scratch that itch a little bit. Decepticon was telling me about another game There's another Phasmophobia clone over on PC VR. Like, maybe they'll get there first. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't blame them for waiting for PSVR2. I just hope that they have it ready to go. You know? I hope it's not they wait for it to come out and then they start developing for PSVR2. It has to be, they have to be working on it right now. Make that shit a launch game. Subnautica will be awesome in VR. Isn't that already on PC VR, Mr. Paxton? If I'm thinking of the right game. My name is the same. There we go, Fossibeer. Nart Boglan. On a technical note, I would love to see devs implementing NVIDIA DLSS or AMD FSR, which could help a lot for adding more intensive games later on. From what I understand, I'm not sure about FSR, but from that, NVIDIA DLSS is like their version of checkerboard rendering or something like that, where it's like you get the impressive visuals, but like at a fraction of the cost or something. But yeah. And don't forget, we got the eye tracking to help with that foveated rendering. That'll give us a nice little boost. Mr. Jackpot, they have Subnautica in VR, but for PC VR. There you go. Well, there you go. We're all talking over each other. Got VR legs, how you doing? Dead or Alive in VR. They got Tekken 7 in VR. One of the most pointless VR editions. I mean, you can go to the female characters if you want, and you can look at their weird bodies, because they don't look that weird on Flash, but when you're in the room with them, their proportions are all weird. They don't look like real people at all. They look like creepy dolls or something, you know. So I imagine that would be the same with Dead or Alive VR as well, because they're all like anime characters. They're not really real people. But yeah, that's something that could happen. I just hope that Sony don't fall into the trap of like making deals with these studios like Bandai Namco, where they're like, here's a bag of cash, give us a nice virtual reality mode for Tekken, and they're like, okay, well, you never said it had to be a good VR mode, just that it's a VR mode. Here's this shitty little character viewer and one stage you can fight on. 007 says, a cool addition to Firewall 0 Hour 2 would be real-time shadows and dynamic lighting. It would be a game changer. So these are the things that, like, if they're done well, you don't notice them, but when they're gone, you do notice that they're not there, and then there's something up. And it's just these things that sound small, and they make all the difference, you know? I keep remembering Resident Evil 7. You know, where you have the flashback scene where you're Mia, and you're in this, like, there's this boat, a ship, and the alarms are going off, and like there's smoke in the hallway, and just the way the smoke swirls around and the lights it up. It's like a small little thing, but I was like, wow, blew my mind. Love that. And if we can have like stuff like that in Firewall 2, where it's like the flashlights are, you know, illuminating the smoke grenades, smoke in a certain way, and it's not just flat looking, if you know what I mean. So that's an excellent point by Mr. 007. And you know, like the gun flashes and all kinds of effects, blood, anything like that. Mr. Jackpot says, I think Firewall 2 might have manual reload. You know, ever since that Fract game came out, you know, that Fract one that was made by In Dreams, I think that's the name of the studio. They had like it was like half manual, half automatic. It's like you grab the magazine, but you just have to kind of put it vaguely in the area, and then it would do it. But you just had to pull it back then at the top, and it was kind of like quick and easy, and you made a lot less mistakes than you would if it was manual. Maybe something like that could work. Deej, we could have a completely new cover system. One hand to raise yourself up or duck behind cover, and the other hand on the gun. It's a good point. I mean, I don't know about, like, if you're holding a two-hand weapon, are you able to shoot it with just one hand then, or do you have to have two hands on it? Like, are you able to blind fire with one hand around a corner while you're taking cover? Like with a handgun, that would make sense, but I don't know about with the two-handed weapon. Mr. Decepticon says, sell that PS5. Unfortunately, no, I won't do that, Decepticon, because the games are too good. They just are. And this, hold on a sec, I'm blocking myself here. This controller is too good. Alright? It's too good. If you tried it yourself, you'd know. You know? You'd sell your PC to get a PS5. Nertboggin says, Firewall 2 could have a hardcore mode in which you have lower health and have to do stuff like manual reloads. That's something that they kind of teased for Firewall 1. Never happened. For whatever reason, I suspect it was not to split up the player base. It was like a decision they came to. But I always wanted a hardcore mode. No HUD. Maybe like 1 or 2 hits and you're dead. Friendly fire. Space Denison, how you doing? Sup? What's up yourself? Hope you're keeping well. Farpoint released in 2017. Thank you very much. God, I'm really behind in these comments. Muzz says, present clown up. Present? I don't get it. Space Denison says you clickbaiting me. I'm assuming he's talking about the pre-order thing. I'll read through the comments first, and then I'm sure somebody probably already answered your question. Subnautica is awesome on PC Viewer. Will probably not come to PSVR2. I think they're working on a new game. Fair enough. Maybe they can be, like, you know, outsourcing that work to another studio. I don't know how big that studio is. I don't know anything about the Subnautica team. Alien Isolation will be a perfect genre maybe for PSVR2. I agree. That game would be excellent in PSVR2. Seven Sins Music, what's up? Much love everyone. How you keeping? And Seven Sins says they can't wait for haptic suits to be more common in games. That's one thing I've been curious to try out. I never got to try it out yet so far, but it would be cool. It's on the list. You got another 2 years before that headset comes out. Sell it and buy another. Don't be ridiculous. You've got 5 months before your headset becomes worthless, Decepticon. So just bin it now. Sell it yourself while it has some value. It's just gone up by 100, so you can probably break even on it. Excuse me. And make something back, you know? And Seven Sins, give him some waves. Wrap it up, yo. It was kind of cryptic. Wrap it up. What's the clown got to do with rapping? Rap. Oh, it. Pennywise. Oh, damn, that was good. That was good. I like that. We got some puzzles in the chat now. I'm lost track of where I was in the comments, though. Here it is. Seven Sin says, I'm definitely interested in the idea of Farpoint 2. I think a lot of us are. A lot of us fell in love. Because this came along before Firewall. So it was like that first time we got to experience proper two-handed shooting. None of that Bravo team shit. And it kind of blew everyone's mind a little bit. Even though the levels were just a little bit too linear. But you could see they were kind of limited by the hardware, and that, you know, a generation later they could do a lot better. Mr. Boglin, PS5 is an amazing console, but it just can't replace a PC. Well, listen, hold on now. Let the goddamn thing come out first. Alright, Nerd? And then we can compare and contrast. Because I think you're going to find that when PSVR2 does come out, it's going to be holding its own very well with PC viewer titles. You know? It went up in value. It decreased in value. It went up in cost. It costs you more, you know. But its value is, it's sad. It really, I can't. I was trying to do a Donald Trump thing, but my throat is just too, it's gone. So sad. No, it's gone. I'm sorry. David Higgins says, what do you think of Modern Warfare 2 VR room? I mean, I've forgotten all about those. Remember that was like crazy like a month or two ago? Everyone was like Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, they added a lot of mechanics added to controller like climbing and peeking that seems to balance versus VR players. Maybe that's interesting, David. I didn't hear anything about that. But it is just interesting that I'd forgotten all about. Hold on a sec, this is annoying me. It's too low down. Wait, now it's covering my face. Hold on. I can fix that too. I'm somewhat of a hacker myself. No, that looks stupid as well now. Maybe I'll just do this. Watch this. This will blow your minds. I'm gonna hack into my chair. Chair hacked. The negative point of this chair, even though I got it for free, is that it does slowly go down. You probably see me dropping. I don't know. We'll see. Where was I? But yeah, that's a good point. If they're adding those kind of mechanics, that does sound like it could be trying to balance for VR. But I'd be surprised if there is a VR mode added, that they would do like crossplay with Flash at all. In a game like that, where it's kind of like every advantage matters. Yeah, I can feel the chair going down, I think. I'm still playing Farpoint, trying to get the platinum, says Donnie. Space Denizen says free multiplayer and PC viewer mods for the win. Hee hee hee. Or maybe heh heh. I'm not too sure. Listen, I'm not saying PC doesn't have good things. If I could get them all, I'd get them all, but I can't. I have to pick and choose. I'm a peasant. Modern Warfare 2 could learn a few things from Alvo and Firewall, says Seven Sins Music. If they're going the VR route, then definitely. 2024 for PSVR2. So this is really sad. It really is, from the questicles in the chat, that they're trying to convince themselves that they're going to get another year. That it's not just 6 months left. That they're not running out of time. That they didn't waste their money. They're trying to convince themselves of these things. And it's just not true, unfortunately. And it is so sad. Ask anyone. Donnie having a good giggle. Mr. 007 says they need a spectator mode in Firewall 0 Hour 2 to allow for streaming and tournaments. Well, that's something that Wolf was here earlier on. And he's one of like the people behind Amateur Hour Commentary. And they've been like streaming on First Contact's channel, so they've got like a pretty tight relationship there. So maybe they've been having some back and forth on like, hey, we'd love to see this, or they know themselves what they'd like, what would make that better. So hopefully they take that on board. That's a good point, Mr. 007. Nert Boglin. I'm not saying PSVR 2 can't compete with PC. My throat's getting dry. I should bring like water or something, shouldn't I? I'm not saying it can compete with PC Viewer in the games that are shared. I'm just saying there are way more PC Viewer games that are up to a good standard. And then there are mods too. I will give you the mods. You got the mods. I would say that what's really holding PSVR 1 back from having more of a library is the shitty move controllers. They got Blade and Sorcery running on a Quest. That tells me the only reason it's not running on PSVR is because the move controllers are just too trash. Fozzie Bear says you need me to moisten your throat. Hold on a sec. Let me DM me after the stream, alright, Fozzie? Decepticon says another news. I've been on a baby Reds kick. What is this? A baby Reds kick. Somebody put this into English for me. Have you got a woman pregnant? Is that what you're doing? PSVR 1 should have had way more aim games. That's true. That is true. I mean, it should have had way more horror games. It should have had way more games in general. It should have had a lot less shovelware trash as well. Whoops. Slides PP drink. It's not water. I'm starting to feel dizzy. Daddy Decon. Decepticon says you should know them baby Reds. In other news, I've been on a baby Reds kick. Baby Reds. What's that? I don't know what he's talking about. Muzz, you're on a what now, Dice? Nonsense. Oh, you made a potato commercial. I never said baby Reds. Never said baby Reds. I said red roosters and baby potatoes. Those are two separate things entirely, and this explains why you've confused everyone. Hold on a sec.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck?
Bear with me here.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is...
Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, I just wanted to... I thought I might have the Spud thing loaded up there, ready to go, but I don't. And I hope that didn't blow out your eardrums like it did for me. Baby Red sounds like a drug. It does. Kind of sounds a bit cool, Maybe we should make a drug and call it Baby Reds. I like the name. You know, we've created something here today. Lads and ladies, we've been streaming for... Where's the fucking... I don't know where the timer is. It's gone. But we've been streaming for a while. My throat is getting sore. And that usually means it's time to wrap it up, you know? Dice is...
What the fuck is this?
Mr. 777 donated 0.99 through Super Chat. Very moist.
What was that voice? What was that voice? Thank you very much for the 99 cents, Mr. Jackpot. I do appreciate it, despite what my tone may imply. I'm kind of bamboozled by the voice. There was kind of like an accent going on there, like an Asian accent or something. But I don't remember putting on an Asian voice. But thank you, Mr. Nart Boglin. Want to go in the alley and get into some baby reds. Okay, want to go in some alley and get some baby reds. That's kind of what he wanted to say there, but he just couldn't pull off the execution. It's difficult. Decepticon says, look up baby reds, Donnie, and make some. For the PC fund, nice. That will purchase me one AA battery for my gaming PC mouse. But it is appreciated, you know, every little helps, as they say on the streets. That wasn't Karen, it wasn't. That was weird as well. And what also is weird is that when he did that, the what the fuck is this guy comes up, and he never comes up for super chats. Never. And Donnie's put one here now as well, so we'll see what happens. Thank you, Donnie, in advance.
Zero has just donated 1.99 through Super Chat.
Stay
so
right here.
damn moist, RSVP for Firewall this week.
Goddamn. There goes the eardrums. What's with the colours? Is it... So the colours are changing here. So Donnie's is a light blue. And Nart's coming here with the dark blue.
Baby cow, why don't you shake that ass? And I'll reward you with some blades of grass.
Nart Boglin donated 1 through Super Chat. That's very moist.
Oh, you did make a comment. Thank you very much for the outpouring of generosity. RSVP for Firewall this week. Listen, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay to get in. It's free. You gotta pay for the other stuff though. The stuff I don't tell you about in the channel. Decepticon says, ha. I don't know what that was about. Nert Boglin with the crisp 1, but no comment. So you can see there's a dark blue. I think it might have to do with the amount. If it's $1 or less, I think it goes dark blue. And maybe that's why that what the fuck is this guy got added into it. And then the music pops up. Fozzie Bear says, Fixel will get you some baby reds. Fixel. Where's that fella? I haven't seen him in ages. Hopefully he's still alive. Deesh says, I'm going to get me some baby reds after this stream. Where has Tasuki gone? I see him talking about Dragon Ball Z on Twitter all the time. That's his thing. PC fun. Thank you very much. We're getting there. Deej miss baby cow, but listen, you can always just scrub back a little bit and you'll get us. You'll get us. Daniel says, I'm a mod. Nert isn't. Get roasted, Nert. How do you even do a message with this? There's just like a... When you click the super chat button. Maybe you're like on iPhone or something like that. Maybe it's different. I don't know. See, I haven't done it on an iPhone. It depends on maybe your device. I'm not too sure. Decepticon says, I leave out animes by the fireplace in hopes that he shows up. I'm getting worried about poor Tasuki now. Have you checked the Coca-Cola factory? Nart says 0. There is a story behind that. Oh, he's talking to Daniel. I was like, 0 what? Mr. Jackpot says, I did it through my iPhone. Maybe that's why the imposter Karen came up. That must have something to do with it. Nart, if your iPhone as well, then that explains it. A warm Coke and an anime. A flat one. Make sure it's a flat Coke. If Cow was still jumping on your streams, then you might have a quest by now. He gave me a succulent $2 dues earlier on. He was here. before you came up, because he's a real fan, Muzz. And he gave me a crisp $2 dues. Daniel says that wasn't a roast. I was just pointing out that maybe the reason for the color. No. Because I've seen that like on plenty of other streams, like your color, the light blue, but that dark blue, I think that must be like an Apple thing. Decepticon says, if anime is sticky and the Coke is gone, if anime is sticky and the Coke is gone, has been there. Disgusting. You gotta put a picture of Velma from Scooby-Doo out there as well. Oh, she's a character in a game now, that fighting game, Multiverse. You can pick Velma. Maybe he's just like playing that constantly now. Maybe if you jump a certain way, her skirt goes up a little bit. Nerd says he's on PC. And that's ruined everything. Assuming you mean like a Windows PC and not a Macintosh, as the kids say. And look at this from Muzz. A golden ticket. Thank you for this generosity, Muzz. And Jesus, Donnie's cashing up as well. No, he's got dark blue now.
Zero has just donated 1.99 through Super Chat. That's very moist.
It skipped Muzz. Oh.
Moose has just donated 7.78 through Super Chat. So damn moist.
Thank you very much for this generosity, gentlemen. I like to pretend I don't know what's going on with the super chats, and then you all start sending me super chats to test those. I know exactly what's going on. This is just a ploy to get you to send me money, and it's worked. Although, this Canadian monopoly money, I don't know if that's going to be any good. We'll see. But no message, but thank you very much. In all seriousness. Oh, he sent a sticker. Look how it shows up on the screen. It's like just a little picture of himself. He sent me a little picture of himself. With $2 dues. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Must says them's fighting words. Mr. Jackpot with a crisp stack. A fat stack. Big baller Muzz, exactly. Oh shit. Nerf Boglin stepping up.
Reptoids are said to be races of intelligent creatures which come from extraterrestrial worlds or parallel dimensions.
Nart Boglin has just donated 2 through Super Chat. Incredibly moist, light blue like my BS.
Light blue like your bullshit. That bullshit is brown. It stinks. Stinking up the place. But thank you for helping me pay for the dry cleaning bill. Mr. Jackpot says, oh, that Masterpiece Dreams super chat, it's good. It is good. I have to watch the fucking Mexican pumpkin pie again. I haven't watched that in a while. Daniel says, I had to test it. One was super chat and the second was the sticker. So maybe... But then when you sent the sticker, it was still different. It was like a weird thing where your face was in it. You're baiting us. Listen, you gotta work the angles, Daniel. I gotta hustle. It's a rough world out here living on the streets like me. Nart, thank you very much for that generosity as well. Don't make me drop them dollars. You're fine. You've already dropped the dollars. You've already dropped them, especially on the PS5. You need to recoup your costs now, Mr. Daniel. Finish the new shit, Mr. Jackpot. Is he working on something else in Dreams? You can getting some sneak peeks. Anyway, my laptop is like really lagging now. I'm stuttering and shit. So I think I'm going to end the stream there. If that's cool with everyone else, you can put your wallets away now. Alright? You're free to go now. You've paid enough. I'll let you go back to your families. Deech says, ooh, what you working on, Jackpot? Any hints? Nart says, I thought when I send money he was supposed to start dancing. You're in the wrong building for that. I stole that from a loose-handed old lady. Well, it took you long enough to find one. GG. GG. Okay, it looks like we're not getting any hints from Mr. Jackpot. And take care, and GG's. Whatever happened to Jackpot Animations? There you go. These are the questions we got to be asking. See you in Firewall. Exactly. Clear your schedules. Keep your eyes peeled if you're in the Discord or on the Twitters or whatever. I'll be tweeting. I'll be Discording. Discording? Is that a word? I don't know. Links in the description, all that. So you can give that video an all like, or don't. I don't even care. Don't like the video. I don't think it does anything for me anyway. Nothing I've noticed. And with that, I'll end the stream, lads and or ladies. Mind yourselves. Take care. And stream ending.
What the fuck is this?